What up, Nate? Rise, yeah, Rich Tim. And we got all kinds of folks piling in. Wild Bill, it went great. But we're not going to talk about it because I don't want to jinx nothing. George Watts, what's up, Craig Beaven? Paul McNeil, what's going on, fellas? So, today the stream's going to be a little different. My computer just died. The hard drive's been crashing for a while. Yeah, sorry, man. Um, my computer just crapped. Like just now. So, why can't people hear me? A buzz? Yeah, it's not that kind. Let me see if I can... No, maybe I was covering it up. Is this any better? Can you hear me? Sorry, guys. Yeah, I'm streaming over the phone because, I mean, there's... Hello? Hello? Can you hear me? I have no idea what the rattling sound is. Let me see real quick if I can drum up a quick solution to our problem. Well, this is my stupid bad iPhone, right? And it's dying. Shut your mouth, Nate. Um, that's not a bad idea, but give me a second. And I'm trying to find my Bluetooth headphones. Give me just a second. I'm trying to make this work, folks. I'm doing the best I can. I got a dead computer and a stream that's going to kaput before I ever even start. I'm so embarrassed. Yeah, I don't think there is another way to do this. Give me just a second. All right, how about now? Can you hear me any better? Is this any different? Hello. All right. Yeah, the microphone on my stupid phone, you know, It's years old. I actually have a new phone coming tomorrow. So, doing this kind of impromptu stream, and like I said, I apologize for like marching all over the house. I I would much rather be sitting at my desk because I wanted to show you guys some stuff tonight, and I'm still going to show it to you. And actually, having the phone in my hand is a little easier way to do it. So, without any further ado, let me show you guys what is going on here. So, as many of you guys know that pay attention to Facebook and the like, and especially folks that are in the Pilot Ryan, um, the RC Pilots Lounge, YouTube, um, or Facebook group, you guys know that BitGo has received some new inventory. Now, I can't speak to everything they got, and sorry, man, I'm like, I'm all over the place. So, BitGo has received some new inventory, including the nice, fancy new, and Scott Settle is on it, the new Dancing Wing. This is I mean, it's not even fair to call it an ARF Plus, right? This thing comes with everything you need. It comes with your power system. It comes with everything but the receiver. So, for all intents and purposes, this is a balsa plug and play. Now, it's still, very much an ARF. Yeah, sorry, Shadow. It's still very much an ARF balsa plane. This is a 1600 millimeter Dancing Wing PT-17, and unlike Bobby's, mine actually says U.S. Navy. So, plug and play balsa, I believe this is being sold for 500 and it's either 549 or 559. FU, Kenny? So tonight was supposed to be like the debut of the Halloween set, and then my computer took a crap and locked up on me as I was, trying to get everything going. We've got the little pumpkins back here, and obviously our Happy Halloween banner, and the PT-17, and we got like all kinds of fancy stuff, and then the computer just crapped. So yeah, yeah. Well, when you try to do everything at the last minute, man, I didn't give myself enough time to correct the problem before I learned that the problem existed. So yeah, I got a dead computer over here that is hurting. Now, what I will tell you guys about the beautiful, and this truly is a remarkably well done plane. Um, it doesn't have all the fancy panel lines that a lot of the new planes are coming out with, but for 550 bucks, like especially with the price increases in balsa here late, or I'm sorry, the price increases in foam for a 1600 millimeter balsa biplane. This is a huge plane. I mean, this thing is monstrous. Um, it's big. It takes up a lot of space. So for what it is, this thing is fantastic. Just awesome. 550 bucks is a steal. When you think about what you can get in foam these days for 550 bucks, I mean, this thing is amazing. When you get right down to it, this thing is awesome. So yeah, I've got the skeletons. I've got the wing rider and a little skeleton pilot. You know, I won't. I won't mention the compromising positions that Amy had the skeletons in. Oh, Amy's in here. So the Amy had the skeletons in some fairly compromising positions um, earlier. Not today, but yesterday. They might have been doing bad things. uh, yes, Keith Christie, that's a good way to put it. The skeletons were boning because that's what bony skeletons do. They do the bony Maroni. This one does not go whoosh when you buy it or when you fly it. It is not a jet. So let me tell you about the flight characteristics of this plane. I have flown it on several different occasions. This is a big baby doll. I didn't have to trim it at all. It's a pretty straightforward build right out of the box. You do have a lot of parts. I'll give you that. You got a lot of parts. It's going to take more than an hour to put it together. It took me about a day. So a good solid 8-hour day to get the thing put together. It's probably because I suck, and this is the first balsa plane that I've ever had. Now, with all that said, I was pretty intimidated by it when I took it out to the field the first time. But, as soon as I got it up in the air, it was perfect. It just flies so well. It's so well behaved. And it did not take a lot of power. So the power system that we've got in here, there's a Tomcat G60 motor. I'm running a 100 amp Spectrum AV and ESC. I believe that the production model will come with an 80 amp ESC, but it's still got the G60 Tomcat motor in there, and I can't remember. Yeah, that's true. So Ryan's saying I had a pre-production. So I had to pre-install or I take that back. I had to install a lot of the individual parts and pieces as I was putting this thing together. And again, I apologize for, kind of the shakiness. Everything is, you know, it's all handheld right now, guys. So I'm holding the phone and because my computer crashed, like right before the show started. Everything was running fine, and then so just by luck. But I didn't want to delay it, so I went ahead and started it up, went live on the phone, and I'm glad that everybody was able to get in here and share this.
See the pumpkin lights. You can move them to the front.
Oh, I know.
Do you want me to move them?
Mm-mm. I mean, because I can move around, I'm probably not going to stay in here. So great big baby in the air. I don't have um, direct links for this in the description, but if you would like to support the RC Air Marshal YouTube channel and you are looking for your very own PT-17, you can go to rcairmarshal.com, click on the Big O Hobby link, and that will take you to the Big O Hobby webpage where you'll be looking at one of my affiliate links. And these are in stock and available right now for 550 bucks, which I can tell you is an absolute steal. You're getting all of your servos, you're getting your motor, you're getting your propeller, ESC, everything but the receiver, man. So this thing is, for all intents and purposes, we'll call it an almost ready to fly plug and play model. It comes with everything you need, and it is sweet. sweet. It just flies like a darling. And the other really cool thing about this is once it's up in the air, it doesn't take a ton of power. You know, I was flying it at about a quarter throttle. So the power system is very conservative. At full throttle, you get plenty of speed, at least in my opinion. It can certainly do, it can do loops all day long. It's only got ailerons on the lower wing surfaces, so it doesn't have the best roll rate, but it can certainly roll. It's a very scale, slow roll, like you would imagine a PT-17 would be like. But the standard just scale flight characteristics, this thing just floats. It's amazing. It's a great flying airplane. Hopefully, we'll have some footage of the flight up soon. But I hope that everybody jumps on this. I know that BitGo, took a big gamble on Dancing Wing. Myself, Ryan, Bobby, Chris Wolf, our Seat Geek, we all worked. Uh, you know, we all worked very well together in putting together what the specs needed to be and what Dancing Wing needed to be able to deliver in order for this to be sold as as effectively a plug and play model. So I'm very proud of the outcome. And for all of you guys that get one, I hope that you really love it, and I hope that we're able to sell this thing out and sell every single one of them that came in on the container, because it's just a fabulous airplane for the money. If you got the room to spare and you got $550, head over to rcairmarshal.com, click that BitGo link, and get you one of these PT-17s. It's a gorgeous airplane. You won't regret it. And if it's your first balsa plane, you're not going to want to fly anything else afterwards. It is such a smooth flying airplane. And all balsa just flies better. I don't know why. You know, David Mark Graff, thank you so much, man. I appreciate it. So I don't know why balsa flies better, but it does. I've flown a couple of foam biplanes. I've flown some big foam biplanes. This thing flies better than all of them. It flies better than all my foam airplanes. It's just amazing. So I hope that you guys check them out. And like I said, I hope we get some build videos up here soon. I wasn't able to get out this weekend because I've been, I just got back from Pittsburgh last week, and we had some very cool stuff happen today, but I don't want to jinx it. So for those of you guys that know, um, today was a cool day, but nothing has come out of it yet. I hope to have some news, good or bad, next week. If you hear no news and everything just keeps going like like it always does, then then there's no news to share. But if not next week, then the week after, if I have like this amazing news to share with you guys, you'll know what happened today. Just keep it on your calendar. Like, Dave did something cool on this day. And then 2 weeks from now, remind me, like, you have any updates on that cool thing you did 2 weeks ago? I should have some updates in 2 weeks, and I'm pretty excited. I'm pretty excited. My E-Flight Commander is actually sitting behind a light right now. Oh, Kenny, no kidding, man. So there's my E-Flight Commander back there, sitting behind a light. But that's it. This is actually an interesting way to do the show because I'm normally behind the desk, right? So you guys don't normally get to see like the full hangar space and what an absolute freaking wreck it is behind me. Um, but I like don't judge me, people. I'm gonna take you on a little bit of a tour of the RC Air Marshal spaces here and let you kind of see what's going on outside of the camera view. So obviously we've got our, you know, yeah, this is a Zoom experience, which is kind of cool. I kind of dig it. So first off, there's my ridiculous teleprompter. So when you see me doing these crazy videos where it just looks like I'm reading right off a screen, it's because I am. Like, dang, he looks like he never forgets any of the words. I don't. The words are right in front of me. I do use a teleprompter when I am making my videos, and I got like a little iPad that, sits right here. And there it is. Hi. See, Mafia, what's up, man? All right. And there's the desk that I'm normally working at. Yeah, this is my life, man. Here's my free wing jets. So I've got the F-16, my two F-18s, F-15, F-22. Over here, I've got my E-Flight Commander. This is an old school. Yeah, this is an old school. This is an EPS foam, 1,000 millimeter um, P-47. It's probably one of the first electric models. This thing actually started its life as a brushed gearbox brushed plane, and it has now been converted over to brushless. I actually used a CPAC flight test kit to convert this over to a brushless setup, and it's fantastic. It flies great. The only issue that I've got with it is you don't have any ground control. So the tail wheel on it is fixed. It does not move. It initially did not have a rudder. I have cut a rudder into it and hinged a rudder, but the rudder was an afterthought. So the tail wheel just stays straight, which is crazy. All right, here we've got the Arrows RC Bigfoot, and hanging off of that is all my lanyards. So I've got my AMA lanyard and my radio lanyard. Here's my good old trusty apprentice, the Habu STS. On this wall, we've got the Viper 70 millimeter, and we've got the E-Flight 70 millimeter F-16. Amazing jet, amazing jet. Anybody that's looking to get into EDFs, I can highly recommend either one of these. Are just fantastic. The Viper is going to be a little easier to fly than the F-16, but the F-16 is pretty well behaved as well. And then let's go over here where we've got some other crazy stuff. Some of it here, some of it not, right? Um, Here's the E-Flight F-16, all decked out in its ordnance. We've got the free wing Avanti S, also an amazing first jet. That's awesome, George. They're fantastic. Down there at the bottom, we've got the Husky SE. So this is a special edition that they did with 5S. I fly it on 4S, and as you can see down there, I've got mine sitting on floats. This thing is a fantastic float flyer, even on 4S. The new one that's going to be running on 6S, I'm sure is also going to be great. Up here, we've got the Draco. On top of the Draco, we've got the wings for the HSD 182. One of my favorite planes. The HSD 182 is amazing. Right here, we've got the Radian, so you can see the night Radian here, along with the fuselage of the Spitfire. So if you guys haven't heard the news, here it is. I was able to get my Spitfire out of the tree, and it is in surprisingly very good condition. Yeah, yeah, it was this guy named Pilot Ryan that sent me this Husky. And, for those of you guys that think that that Ryan guy is a real big ding dong. I mean, he is, but every now and then he does really nice things too. And he was kind enough to send me this husky, and it's just awesome, man. I love it. So yeah, like the fuselage damage, is basically limited to that. I got a little bit of scuffed up, you know, leading edge on the horizontal stab, just on the left side. The right side horizontal stab is in great condition. Um, I did bust up the tips on the propeller, but I bought new propeller, new spinner, new wings, so the wings aren't bad. Above this is the Dynam Hellcat. Yeah, just the tips. So the Dynam Hellcat, for those of you guys that may be a little, oh man, Ryan, no kidding. I got very lucky with the Spitfire. This thing sat in a tree for a week. I just went out there and was persistent, and I shook the crap out of the tree. I was finally able to get it shook down with the help of some folks from the field. And I mean, I couldn't have asked for a better outcome. Just having to buy a couple of wings for it instead of having to pay the full price. I was I got very lucky. So the Hellcat, for those of you guys that are on the fence about some Dynam planes, maybe I want to try some Dynam planes. The two that I still have, right? Most of the Dynam planes that I've gotten, I do the reviews on them, and then I either give them away as prizes at events, or I will give them away to kids. Um, the Hellcat and the P-47, these two are bad to the bone. Excellent flying airplanes. Excellent flying airplanes. The only recommendation I would have is if you're going to do the P-47 or the Hellcat, right now in their current versioning, the Hellcat and the P-47 come with a 500 kV motor. Just replace it. Just dump that 500 kV motor, get the Detram 650 kV motor, and you're going to have a much, much better experience. Much better experience. Fly them on 4S 3200 packs, either one, and these things are going to serve you very well for the amount that you spend on them. So if you're looking to get into some budget warbirds, I can highly recommend the Dynam Hellcat and the Dynam P-47. In the back, we've got the 64 millimeter E-Flight F-15. Fantastic. One of the best 64 millimeter jets out there, period. Hiding in the back there, we've got the 64 millimeter F-16. All the decals are pulled off of it. It is going to be getting a repaint. Shadow, if you got a Hellcat with a 600 kV, that's awesome. Back here, we've got the fantastic, fantastic FMS Pilatus PC-21. This is one of the best flying planes I have. If you're looking for a really good plane to help you transition between prop planes and jets, that plane is fantastic. With the long, slender fuselage, the way the wings are laid out, you're going to get a really, very close to jet-like flight characteristic out of this airplane. It is very cool. Yeah, Mafia, I'm kind of in the same boat, man. I'm also mobile right now. And over here, we've got the E-Flight Twin Otter. So the PC-21, it doesn't have unlimited vertical, but it will go all the way to 400 feet. It does very well. I fly it on 4S 3200 packs, and it does very well. It's not a speed demon. It's not the fastest plane out there, but it's very smooth, very very jet like. If like I said, if you're looking for something that's going to handle more like a jet does, this would be a great plane, to kind of get you that transitional airplane between jets or between propellers and jets. The Twin Otter, also on floats, fantastic float flyer. Awesome. I've still got it set up with the standard. Um, Scotty Story, what's going on, buddy? So I've still got it set up with standard throttle, meaning that the ESCs for the twin motors are on a Y going to my throttle channel, but you can split those out and get differential thrust, which will give you a little bit better water handling if you're going to be flying it on the water, or you get much better yaw control. Um, Very scale flying airplane, very cool. This thing can do some neat stuff. It's a great looking airplane, awesome for the money that you spend on it. All right, then of course down here at the bottom, we still have the crazy Van Halen plane. Eddie K's RC, what's going on? We've got the crazy Van Halen airplane that we took to the Pilot Ryan fly-in down in Florida. Um, it doesn't fly anymore, but it has parts in it that maybe someday I'll use again. And then down here, I have a donor. So this was an airframe that was given to me at the field. Um, it's old, it's yellowing, it's got the original Outrunner, like kind of slow setup. Um, but it was free, and maybe someday I'll put it back together and I'll fly it. But that's the Freewing T45. And there's one. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. So down here on the floor, right in front of the camera, we've got the fuselage of the Cessna 182. We've got a whole bunch of surface crap, the Corvette, the crawlers, the mini crawlers, the stadium truck. We've got the Sirius. We've got the 4S Creighton. And Bobby K at the BitGo warehouse has my 6S Creighton and my Low C Mini T. And I've got a whole bunch of parts here for both of those, waiting to meet them down in Alabama here in a couple of weeks, which is a great segue to tell everybody in here about the upcoming Bigfoot Fall Fly-In at the Birmingham RC Association in Birmingham, Alabama. Actually, I think it's like just northwest of Birmingham, Alabama. If you guys know Scott Settle or Tony Spears, Scott Settle is the president of the Birmingham RC Association. Tony Spears, I believe, is the treasurer of the Birmingham RC Association. Those guys have really turned that facility around. It is a beautiful, beautiful location. The backdrop of the flying field while you're in the air is just incredible. It's a beautiful, beautiful view while you're flying. It's a great runway, 600 foot paved runway. That is going to be on the weekend of October 22nd. So, Michael Baird, that'd be funny. That'd be funny if somebody on the show was like, I saw it. I saw the nut. So, for those of you guys that are in the Southeast or anywhere near Alabama, come and see us. We're going to have myself. We're going to have Scott Settle. We're going to have Tony Spears, Pilot Ryan, Bobby K, sponsored by BitGo Hobby and the Model Box. So we're going to have, some great prizes. We're going to have some great, YouTube folks there if you want to come meet us. Kenny's going to be there. Kenny, so everybody can see how short he really is. Like, I'm not lying when I say that he's short. I, yeah, Eddie K, that's awesome, man. We look forward to seeing you. Um, and it's just going to be a great event. Every time we go there, we have a ton of fun. It's it's an awesome facility. So I encourage you to come out, come in and hang out with us. If you weren't able to make Joe Knoll, I mean, none of us were at Joe Knoll anyway. So come to the Birmingham RC Club, Birmingham RC Association, and we're gonna have a good time. Kenny's gonna be there with his big huge tent. I'll be in a hotel room somewhere, not in a big huge tent. See, Mafia will be there with his giant ass truck. So everybody come visit with us, man. It's a good time, and if you don't feel like coming out and flying, and you have some surface RC, bring that too, because we're gonna have rock crawling, we're gonna have no prep drag racing, we're gonna have bashing, we're gonna have low-C mini T's, running into your airplanes nonstop. You know, every time I get my little low-C mini T out, that thing, the mini T stands for mini terrorizer, not mini truck. Like, I just want to go and harass people that are trying to like taxi airplanes, especially tail draggers. That's funny as shit. When you take that little low-C mini, when you take the little low-C mini T and you like start pushing their tail wheel out to the side, and they're like, "Stop it!" Yes, we're gonna have Wild Willies. I mean, I know what my idea of a Wild Willie is, but apparently Kenny has a Jeep that he's going to bring out that he thinks is a Wild Willie. But you might get more air shows than just airplanes. You know what I'm saying? Don Shack, what's going on, man? Good to see everybody. So again, I mentioned it at the beginning. My computer crashed, so I'm on my phone tonight. It's crazy. So I'm doing a lot of walking around. I'm doing a lot of walking around, and I don't know why. I just can't sit still. This is why I have a chair, in the other part of the studio. George Watts, that runway is 600 feet long, and I want to say 50 feet wide. It is a turbine capable field for sure. You've got plenty of open space on either end of the runway to set up for a nice long approach if that's what you like. But what I will tell you, oh, what I will tell you is that if you wreck in the field, so when you go beyond the runway, about 50 feet out, so they've got like a little grass strip about, between the runway and about 50 feet out. Once you hit that, it drops down into a large, very big valley. It probably drops down a good 100 feet from the time that you go over that hill. So when you walk over there to the edge and you look down, like it goes way down. So even if you look like you were crashing and you go like, under the hill, just pull up and pray because chances are your airplane's going to come flying out on the other side. It's a long way down before you crash. It's a long way down before you crash. So uh, it's just a neat facility. One of the nicest RC facilities as far as the flight line goes. It's a little bit rustic, at the pits, but every pit stall has AC power, so you don't need a generator if you don't want one. They do have AC power available, and I highly recommend it. It'll be a great time, and I'd love to see you guys out there. Me and Amy are going to be out there. We're going to be having fun. EQ, good to see you, man. I think I had seen where you said that you got that charger, but I just wanted to verify that you got the charger for your DT9 and that everything is working good now. Mm. I should get one of them sticks, one of them selfie sticks that I can walk around with. Oh, so C Mafia was asking about the Halloween decorations. Awesome, EQ. Man, I do apologize for taking so long to get that out to you, but I'm glad you got it now, and I hope that radio serves you well. So let's turn this around. So C Mafia was asking about the Halloween decorations, and we've got Mr. and Mrs. Bone here, and George, that'd be awesome. That'd be awesome. So Amy had set up Mr. and Mrs. Bone to to truly be living up to their name. Like there was certainly some boning happening between them. We've also got some LED pumpkin lighting. You know, in the background there, we've got the Happy Halloween. I mean, we got a little light up pumpkin. George, I would show you how the wings come off the Stearman, but I am operating one-handed. So what I'll do is I will just show you with the camera all you got to do to get the wings off, right? So you see those little black knobby knobs right here, and there's another one on the other side right there. So you got to remove that knob, and then down below you got two more. You got one here and another one on the other side. So you take this knob, or you take that screw out, and you take that screw out, and the wing just slides off. It's very simple to get apart. And then once you get them apart, you've got these fancy things. So these are actually braces that hold the inside portion of the wings together. So you've got the cabane on the wings here, the wing struts on the outside of the wings to keep the two wings from getting collapsed when you remove them. This goes on the inside, and I've got the surgical tubing that I wrap around the top of the wing, and it loops in right here. Or you can use big rubber bands, and what that does is that prevents the inside of the wing from collapsing, just like Wrights said. Um, it keeps the inside of that wing from collapsing during transport. So it's very easy to get the wings on and off. And you know the way that that works. And let me turn this around again. You may be able to, yeah, you can see the seam right here. This center section of the upper wing panel actually stays attached to the airframe, right? So it is bolted into the airframe in these two positions. So that part stays in, and this part slides out, right? You got two wing spars, and those two wing spars, um, you know, you can pull those out or leave them in, whatever you want to do. Put those braces on the inside of the wing panels so your wings don't collapse, and break the exterior, you know, the outside wing cabane, and you're good to go. It's a very easy plane to transport, given what it is. You know, I mean, it's a big balsa plane. So I've been very impressed with it. I am able to get it to and from the field in my Toyota. So in a Toyota Camry, I can get it to and from the field no problem. Um, and I'm gonna try to get it to Alabama. I don't know if Bobby's gonna try to bring his out. I know down in Florida, one of the folks that was at the Pilot Ryan fly-in, Bobby let one of the people that were at the event fly the plane, and when they crashed, so when they landed it, it didn't go so well for one of the landing gear. It cracked some of the internal structure. So I know Bobby was going to be working on rebuilding that. I'm not sure if he's got that done yet or if he's just going to grab another one. Um, Jackson RC Aviation, what's up, man? Good to see you. So yeah, but regardless of if you see it in Alabama or not, if you're going to come to Alabama, by all means, make sure you got money in the bank, because as soon as you see one of these fly, you're going to want to pull the trigger. And I just think for what you get, for people that don't like foam airplanes, that are looking for some fresh balsa birds, I think this is just what the doctor ordered for a lot of folks. Um, it's really it's a great plane. I mean, it really is. It's very impressive in the air. It's just a great plane. Right. And Wild Bill, I'd agree. I think that a lot of folks that are looking for balsa planes, they would spend this kind of money on the airframe. But by the time they put the servos in it, by the time they add the power system, by the time they add the ESC, the receiver, everything that you need to get that plane up in the air, they're easily spending 700 or 800 bucks on a really nice balsa plane. In this case, you're getting that really nice balsa plane, but you're getting it at what I consider to be a very good price. Are the servos? Here's what I'll say: the servos are Futaba copies. They are Futaba clone servos, made in China, but I have taken them apart. And what I can tell you with great certainty is that the Futaba servos, or that the servos that come with here, with the excuse me, with the PT-17, they are full metal digital servos with ball bearings. They've got a ton of power, a ton of torque, and I mean they work fantastic. I haven't had any problems with them at all. Right, George Watts. That's the other thing to keep in mind here is this would be considered a giant scale airplane because it meets the requirements of the minimum 60-inch wingspan for a giant scale biplane. So it is a big plane, without a doubt. Now, compared to other giant scale planes, is this thing a quarter scale plane? No. It would be dwarfed by a quarter scale plane, but it's still a really good size. It's a good size airplane. And like I said, it flies amazing. I think at the price entry point, yeah, at the price entry point of 550, 560 bucks, I don't think you can go wrong. It's a great airplane. Yeah, it's a little budget oriented, but what do you expect? When it's 550 bucks, no, it's not name brand servos, but they're very good quality. They work well. You're getting that Tomcat motor, instead of a hobby wing or something like that, you're going to get a Tomcat motor. I want to say It's one of the Tomcat like Skywalker, or whatever they call them. I think they call it Skywalker ESCs. It's an 80 amp ESC. So you just need to provide your own receiver. I've got an AR637T in mine, and it works fantastic. Flies good. Lasts a long time. It's only got four servos in it, so you don't really need to worry about having like the power safe receivers or your big like power boxes or anything like that. The four servos are not going to pull more than you can safely run through a standard receiver. So any standard, sport receiver will work well. In fact, let me see if I can get the camera looking down into the electronics cavity here. And I believe the answer is going to be yes, I can do that. So, for all the reasons that I hate doing this from a cell phone, it does make certain portions of this very cool. So there is the 100 amp Avian ESC that I added, and I actually just built a little piece of just cut out like a little piece of plywood and glued it in there. That's one of the nice parts about balsa. I mean, you have a lot of options. You can do whatever you need to. And then down in the bottom there, I've got the AR637T. I've got my antennas in their 90-degree orientation as needed. We've got our 4 channels plugged in, with channels 5 and 6 empty on the 637T. And that is, I believe, that whole battery tray is carbon reinforced, and that goes all the way from the front, just aft of, where the little pilot opening is here. And for those of you guys that have not seen this, this is absolutely one of the coolest parts of the plane. You guys see the instrument panel back behind, old Boner's head there? That's his name. This is Boner. So the instrument panel is super cool, very detailed. Yeah, George, I don't think they come with a skeleton pilot, but that would be cool if it did. You know, I saw a question here. Paul Ballard is asking if I have safe on it. I don't think I do. I don't think I programmed safe on this one. It's just got AS3X. I know it sounds weird, right? Like I did a lot of, videos on how to make safe work, and I mean, I don't use it. I don't I don't really use safe, so I rarely program it anymore. Um, but I'll show anybody how to do it. It's not difficult. So yeah, I mean the receiver is certainly capable of having safe on it, but I am not using it. No. As far as the battery goes, so this to me is one of the most impressive parts about this airplane. One of the reasons that we have the specific prop motor ESC combo in there that we do is we wanted to get gas or nitro flight times out of a lipo electric power system. With a 5,000 milliamp hour battery, I can get like 14-minute run times out of this plane, which just seems ridiculous, right? But I am not exaggerating. The thing pulls about 40 to 45 amps of power, um, which is insane. Like that's 40 to 45 amps max. So the 100-watt ESC that I've got, or the 100 amp ESC, is grossly overrated. I've got a ton of headroom as far as the ESC is concerned. So yeah, on a 6S 5000, I mean, you can get ridiculous flight times because you don't need to just pour on the coals the whole time. So if you're just flying around nice and scale, easily 10, 12, 14-minute flight times, which is insane. That's exactly what we were looking for. And you've got enough wing loading where the plane can handle much larger batteries, but you don't want to go too big because you're going to run into a situation like you want a lot of weight in the nose because as you can see, and this is true for all PT-17s, your your main gear is so close to the front of the airplane that in order to get the plane to rotate, you need a lot of nose weight, but you don't want a bunch of weight behind those wheels, right? So you got to get that battery as far forward as you can get it, but you don't want to go too heavy on the pack either. You don't want too much. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't want too much nose weight, but you don't want like too little either. It's a funky balance. 5,000, 6250s, 7,000s have all flown great in it. So if you could stay, you know, in that 5,000 to 7,000 milliamp 6S packs, I think you're going to be really happy with the flight performance. Whatever you get, just take the thing and shove it as far forward as you can get it. And the other thing that I found is that this airplane, even though you can um, land it on the mains and just kind of fly it down, I have found that it seems to prefer a like a 3-point landing. So yeah, Gooniac, you like that, huh? Look at that. Wild Bill. I'm not gonna. I don't want to give up all the goods. But I think it went well, but we'll see. We'll see. I did the best I could, man. That's all I got. So EQ, with what they give you, the radio um, is very cheap. It's very cheap plastic. It's like that really thin, like vacuum molded um, plastic. So it doesn't it doesn't have a lot of like substantial outside walls. I would not try to use any kind of lead weight in it, but what I can tell you is you don't really need a lot. So for whatever reason, the And probably some portion of the reason for that is it has very heavy duty landing gear. So underneath the fairings, so the white fairings, are some pretty beefy hydraulic, or they may be, air suspension, but there's some beefy struts underneath those things that actually have quite a bit of weight on them. And, the construction towards the front of the plane is intentionally heavier and more substantial than the construction in the rear of the airplane, because you need so much weight in the front of the airframe. And I think that, with the weight of the motor, the weight of the battery, the weight of those struts, and your wing, um, your wing struts, your cabanes that hold the upper wing assembly on. I think that all of that weight, makes up for whatever you're missing all the way up in the cowling. So I don't think you need weight in the cowling. I have not flown it with any weight in the cowling. Mine has had a great CG point. Like I said, the first time, I mean, this was in the beginning of the show, so if you missed it, the first time I flew the PT-17, and every time I've flown it since then, it did not need one lick of trim. It has been fantastic every time I've flown it. It is a very gentle flyer, and it wants to fly, right? So as soon as you give it some power, I mean, the tail will lift up just like any other, tail dragger will. It's got a huge rudder, so you don't, any uh, like right correction to the rudder makes a substantial difference to the way that it handles on the ground. So it's actually got really good ground handling for a tail dragger. But it doesn't need to come up much, as soon as that tail lifts up on the ground, I mean, the thing is just lifting up on its own. It's got great lift, very light wing loading for its size and for its weight. I mean, it just whoop, just comes right up off the ground, and because it's only got those control surfaces on the lower wing sections, it doesn't have like a ferocious roll rate. It's a very scale roll rate. So even at 100% rates across all the control surfaces, I have had nothing but great experiences flying the plane. What up, Spencer? How you doing, man? Yeah, and I'm not sure, so I can't speak to what changes were made between the production version and the prototype versions. So mine is an early, kind of prototype slash pre-production sample. So, a lot of the things that I had to do, like the pull cables, I had to cut those and form them myself. My understanding is that the pull cables are pre-cut um, and pre-made on the production version of the model, which should make things quite a bit easier. And that all the linkages are already drilled into the control surfaces. So if that's true, that will make the production model a lot easier to put together. So somebody asked, Boss 223, it is absolutely a joy to fly. Now, George Watts, it's funny that you say that. Typically, I would agree with you, especially if you have turnbuckles. But this model does not have turnbuckles in the pull system. So it's a little, you know, it's it's not as easy to get all of the linkages adjusted to the right tension because it doesn't have any turnbuckles. So you have to like adjust, hook everything back up, test the tension, unhook stuff, tighten it up a little more, hook it back up. So it kind of is what it is. So Ray, when are we gonna have like a fiery booty system? But instead of being a fiery booty, it's like I don't even know what we'd call it. Like I mean, what would you call it? But something for like Merlin engines. So like on Spitfires and Mustangs, where we can have like six little individual LEDs for each little exhaust pipe, and they all light up, you know, and like corresponding with the firing order to the airplane. So it's like, you're like, no, I will not make that. I will not make that sound effect again. But that would be badass to have like little lights in there that are flashing while the plane is going off, like little flashes of flame. Yeah, that'd be freaking sick, Gooniac. It'd be sick. Do it. I think you can do it with like a little Arduino Nano. Like get one of them little bitty Arduinos. It's only got to have six outputs because it's not like you're going to have somebody standing on both sides, looking to make sure you have 12, lights. You only have to have six. As long as they're like in the proper firing order. That'd be awesome. I don't even know what you'd call that. You know, this, who knows? Due time. Yeah. Due time. Is that like the rent is due right now? Yes, exactly. Due. It's due right now. Yep, Ray. If you can figure out how to do that, man, you'll sell a ton of those things and it'll be sick. Like do little orange LEDs, where you just see the exhaust stacks on the inside light up. And it'd be so stupid and no one would ever see it. But the people that do see it would be like, that's sick. All right. So listen, guys, I because of like the weird circumstances tonight and not being able to to sit down at the desk, I was going to have to stand up all night anyway. But this thing is like eating the battery on my phone alive. The phone's dying. So I think I'm going to go ahead and call it for the night. Not like Kenny, where Kenny, streamed for like 72 hours straight. So we've been going for like 70 minutes. I know normally it's a 2 hour show, but tonight I'm going to cut it off a little early. But before I do, yeah, this is like Zoom, only with headphones. So it's the Zoom experience for people that didn't know what to expect. Like, I wonder what the Zoom is like. It's a lot like this, where where I walk around all over the house, but normally I've got a beard. And now I remember why I grow a beard, because I can't tell how fat my double chin is. Like, look at that. If I go down enough, I that's funny. So I I love you guys. It's great to be back. We'll be back again next week and the week after and for forever. Man, dude, I don't eat salads. I obviously don't go for the low fat option. I go for the mo fat option. I want the mo fat, not low fat. So and I had to have the headphones on because the stupid microphone in my phone is a piece of crap. So tomorrow I've got a new phone showing up. I got to figure out like what the heck is going on with my computer so we can get some streams going again. That thing locked up on me. We've got all kinds of weird problems. Be sure to click the link for the video that Guniak just had. If you guys are interested in getting a PT-17, please consider using my BitGo affiliate link to pick that up. You can find that by going to rcairmarshal.com and clicking on the BitGo Hobby logo on the rcairmarshal.com website. And hopefully this will all be working much better next week. But for now, we are going to say sayonara. It has been great sharing the PT-17 with you guys again tonight. No, not the Pilot Ryan link, the Air Marshal link. Damn it. If you use the Air Marshal link, it will ship faster. Use the Air Marshal link and it will get to you faster by at least 30 minutes than if you use the Pilot Ryan link. All right, guys. Hey, listen, for real. PT-17's available now. X-Fly Sirius available now. T7s, A10s, all available now at BigOHobby.com. Go to rcairmarshal.com, click that BigO link, and check out what they have in stock, man. They've got a new container in. They've got a lot of cool stuff available. So check them out and check out the new products from XFly, from Sirius. Just hit RC connecting to the internet. You lady. It looks like an issue with the router and Echo device, so try restarting them. Who both of them, told this lady? Back in. Wait 30 seconds. Once the router is back on and connected to the internet, plug in the Echo device. All right. So anyway, everybody go check out all the new inventory at BitGo Hobby. rcairmarshal.com, click BitGo Hobby, check out all their new stuff. They got a huge new container full of all kinds of brand new product that they've never carried before. I think they've got Roaring Top batteries in stock now. They've got X-Fly products in stock. They've got Dancing Wing products in stock. Head over there, check them out. But if you want it 2 days slower, click on Pilot Ryan's links. If you want it in 2 days, RC Air Marshal. Anyway, guys, it's been a great night. Everybody go and, get your 40 minutes back But be sure to come and check out Ray's premieres here in a little bit. Ray, we will see you at 10:15 Eastern Time, 7:15 Pacific. Again, it's good to be back. I've missed you guys. Hopefully next week we'll be back in the normal seat. Y'all all have a great night, and we will see you next week. Good night, guys. Oh my gosh, I can't figure out how to make this stop. it takes him, yeah, it takes Kenny 39 minutes just to start up the computer. Good night, fellas.